Oh, thank you, press. I was actually talking this whole time. I was saying good morning to everyone. I made a joke about Kami being on time like usual. I mean, it was a whole routine, you guys. It was hilarious. You would have been rolling. It wasn't that good, but I was talking. No one heard a thing. Come on, Scott. Get it together, man. Happy Monday. I just turned the recording on too, so everyone's like, is it going? Is it going? And then they hear this. Horrible. Mondays. Welcome to Market Watch Group. Monday Market Kickoff. I'm Scott. Apparently I'm having a day. I even made a joke about press too. I was like, oh, we were waiting for you. Then he's like, someone talking? I'm like, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go. Education and illustration only. No recommendations at your own risk. Not brokers, not advisors. I figure I'm just going to do the abridged. It's up there. You can read the whole thing if you ever want. What are we going to do? Let's look at the futures in the news. We'll talk about our posture and the economic calendar, what we think. Mindset for trades. So tell me if I'm wrong. I would imagine, like right now, most people are carrying only a couple of things, and if they are, it's remnants. It's the end. Does that sound right? Maybe a neutral. I mean, it's we're the market's pushing some resistance levels. It's certainly there's always ability to find off-cycle opportunities. We'll be looking for those. But talk to me. Vladimir says yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean the sense I get is most of what we did on this last swing is overdone. Did well. Losses, break evens and gains. One loss, I believe. Few still on. Full positions, partial positions. Kami says on hold for off cycle. I love it. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get into it. We're in, just if you're wondering. Yeah, Microsoft is one that's still kind of like, I'm still in. That's one I'm holding. So anybody else in that one? Some people might have taken a loss on that. Hasn't broken support for me. Okay. Trading plan. The opportunity list was a pretty good size. Good opportunities in there. Some nice consumer staple leaders setting up for trades. I mean, we have some opportunities that are on deck. Yeah, they're taking swings. They're getting ready to step up. It's business as usual. Trading plan section this week is analytics. In order to have analytics, you had to do can't have 7 without 6. 7's not really about writing something. It's more about doing something, processing, making observations from processing. And in order to make observations, we need the data. In order to have the data, we need the record keeping. So if you didn't do 6, you got to go back a step, do 6, and then you can do 7. We'll talk about that tomorrow night in a working session. Although there's an off chance that it may be Glenn. I'm going to actually have a conversation with him for like hey, can you be ready to call an audible? I'm going to be driving my daughter to school. You never know how long those take. We'll take her to lunch. And, it's a couple hour drive. I think I'll be back, but I'm going to have him on a just in case. So, all right, let's go do it. Futures. Let me make sure I'm positive here. I was going to say futures are down just a titch, marginally down. Interesting little tidbit about me is I've been drawing little pictures of myself lately. I one time stood Right on top of this mountain. Had a magnificent view of 3 different states from the top of that Grand Teton. Beautiful. Many, many years ago. All right. S&P down 0.11, Dow 0.02, NASDAQ 0.18. Russell up a titch. What are we talking about? The dilemma heading into final Jackson Hole speech. Should the Fed stand pat on interest rates to cool inflation? I don't think you're cooling it. You're countering, and you're not countering even right now, right? Inflation's rising despite, or cut them to support jobs. Here's the deal. Jobs has shown regression but not weakness, whereas inflation has shown preliminary steps towards rising. Very difficult dilemma. I think that can's getting kicked to at least October. And the problem is if they kick it then really here's what we should be talking about with that implication. I don't think any of us think inflation's going to fall in the current environment, especially as more tariffs are actually setting in. And it seems to be having that effect. So then if we're kicking the can down the road, what are we kicking it down the road waiting for? I mean, of course, the hope is that inflation drops and they lower rates. But realistically, it's that labor drops. And then they lower interest rates. And if that happens, that's a hard one for us. In fact, throughout our 2+ year history, 2.5 almost now, as a group, we've really had a good labor market the whole time. We don't even know, as a group, the weaknesses and the issues that come with questionable labor, where it's like, hey, the institutions are not just not getting new money, but they're having to pay out to people who are having to cash out of things. So it's a very, very different environment. So if that's what has the Fed lowering rates, we as a group are going to have a new set of concerns on our hands. Okay. But nothing yet. Well, it's all speculation and conjecture at this point. This week, it's pretty light. When is the speech? Oh, it's all the way on Friday. So Bowman TV appearance, and now it's a thing. Now you sort of are like, oh, okay, which Fed is it? Because you're like, there's a couple of clear politicized who are like, we think we should be cutting rates now that were appointed by the current administration. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as we get closer to it. Not much going on other than that. It's Fed all day, every day. We have Fed here. We have Fed here. We have Fed minutes here. Fed here. We have jobless claims here, expected to stay where they are. Not much else outside of that. And then we have Fed here. So it's Fed speak. Fed speak. And you can see that this continues. We were at 99, then 92, then 87. Now we're at 82. Still 4-1 plus of favorability. They say probability because what they've priced in is based on futures. They say it's priced in. But that's not the probability it actually happens. That's what's priced in as a probability into market prices. We all know. Press, are you talking about this? So this is actually based on, and I haven't seen the calculations, but this is actually based on futures trading, like the way that contracts are trading on it. So this is the contract here, and you can kind of see, like, this is actually the favorability priced in based on trading. And so, yeah, it's not like they're asking. They're just monitoring the trading of that contract. I probably should dive into exactly the way that they're like spitting that out, right? Interesting, because if we've noticed one thing, it is in constant priced in optimism that, let's be honest, is almost rarely. I mean, we've seen times, but how often has it been like, oh, we're getting cuts, and then it just kind of deflates, and then, oh, we're getting cuts, and it just kind of deflates. I remember Credit Suisse first, whatever. We're like, oh, they're cutting it 2.75. I'm like, you guys are up in the night. Like, what? Anyways, okay. But this is what the market's kind of hinging on, and right, a lot of discussion in the Fed. So what does that mean? We watch the Fed. Let's go take a look. Tell you what, I'd be loving the way Walmart's setting up here if it weren't for the fact that you'd carry through earnings in a few days. It's coming on Thursday, it looks like. Yeah. Let me get my watch list ready here. SPY. Now, here's the deal. Again, our posture, if you missed it yesterday, actually increased by a quarter point. So it's the second week of stability. Teeny bounce back, really marginal bounce back. We're not like, oh, look at this strength. We're like, okay, it's stable at 4.5. Better than dropping a 3.5 or 2.5, which certainly was. So at this point, the question is, do we bounce out of this back into the 5s? Or does it try to bounce and then drop down to the 3s? We're going to trade based on what we see. 4.75, good score. What do we get? We got a little bit increase on the VIX, from the VIX touching a new lower low last week. I'm not going to go through all of them, but if that's our market posture, 4.75, then we move and say, well, what's our trading posture? Meaning, that's the overarching. Now we're talking about now what? It's Monday morning. Market's open. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, hotshot? So that's what we had. So hopefully, last week, in between here and here, you were able to get some bullish trades on and ride them up and pull some profits out of them. If they didn't move, hopefully they went sideways and you got out marginally break even. If they, maybe you took a loss, but overall, yeah, that was a good move. Now what? Well, now we're overbought. It's just crossed over already. So if we see this thing pull back, are we going to be like, whoa, the seller's taking control? Or are we like, no, that's the market just breathed in. Now it's got to breathe out. Can't just keep breathing in. You got to breathe out. That's basic science. Everybody knows that. So now, does it always have to breathe out right then? Well, you can see here, it looked like it was going to breathe out, then sideways. Oh, and we got another move. And then it had a breathe out. So if it just, we had this and then it got here, looks very similar to what we're seeing right now. And then it just sort of moved forward and then off it goes again. So does it have to come back here? No, it could sit and do this for a little bit and take off and then give us one, just like it did back there. We don't expect it to behave as we expect it to behave. We have general considerations that we adhere to and are prepared to trade with. That's it. Looks okay is what I'm saying. Nothing here is concerning. Let's take a quick peek here. Yeah, so we got a old resistance, new support. This key support level is holding. Pulled back, waited for a bounce, liked it. And then immediately it's like, oh, yeah, you son of a gun. This engulfing didn't really have any above average volume, so it got it to support, but not through support. And then it held, and then it held, and now it's trying. So I'm going to give it one last shot. One last shot to catch it. Got to catch that trend and go. I think I can. I'm just going to send it some good vibes. Okay. Let's get to the full watch list. If you arrived a little late and I didn't see you and say good morning, good morning. Good to see you all. AAP coming out of earnings, trying to figure it out. Apple on the buy list. It's moving into flag territory. Big move up. Whoops. Not my best line. Let me try that again. Big move up. Feel some choppiness in my system. Now I'm thinking possibly a flag. Flag has a little bit of time before it turns into this. This is my old. So yeah, I've got some time and patience to see what this does. But if this thing just breaks, we got to decide, is that it? Am I ready for what's coming next, which would maybe be up in here? Take a little profit at 250, the old high, maybe even a little sooner. Setting up. Good to see Apple participating in a bullish way. ADM, bullish looking, just made a new high. Same thing. Just moving into a small consolidative phase. We'll see what it turns into. Possibly a setup. It's on the list. Amazon. Yeah, so it did that little sneaky reversal. Got a little bit. It's pulling back. So I don't know. I'm watching. Waiting to see if something good comes. APH. It's on the list. Looks like it could be trying to make a turn. It's a very strong trend. This one's appealing already. Appealing on a Monday. Am I wrong? AXP. I put AXP on. That's the consolidation where it's falling, and then all of a sudden here's the biggest buying we've seen in a while, and they pushed it up here, and now we're wondering if the sellers bring it down and it just keeps coming back, then all bets are off. But if it only gets to here and turns, then that's a higher low, and that is exactly what we're looking for. Exactly what we're looking for. Like this one here. Let's go up, down, catch it. And then we can catch it. And then we can catch it. And then you can catch it. Right? And you're trying to catch as many of these as you can. And ride it for as long as you can. That's it. That's our game. We're waiting for that next opportunity to move in. BAC still kind of feels iffy. There's better in financials for me. BTI. And here is a consumer staple. People love this British American tobacco. It's up here. Pulls back. Is that it? Stochastics trying. Yeah, if it gets back up near 57.75, I think that would actually turn it. If it drops, you can see this is pinching but not turning yet. So you might be specific with defining the entry before you say, yeah, I like it, I'm going. Beyond. So this Beyond is kind of trying to hit. You can see it turned, hiccuped, popped, and it's like, is this thing trying to go? Is it trying to stabilize? I didn't take it. Did anyone? I'm spectating. City. Yeah, got a signal, took a little bit, made a move. Now it's pulling back. If this thing turns like this, I think that looks good, and I'd be looking for one of these bigger moves to come. Since we didn't get it last time, and we're getting the hiccup, a lot of times it's the next one, right? I mean, I think we've all been on the wrong side of that, where you like got in and you moved a little and you're like, and then all of a sudden, boom, it makes the big move. And it's just like, well, why weren't we still watching and taking? So whether you took it or not, I'm thinking there's something setting up there for Citi. I like Citi as a leader. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Caterpillar. Caterpillar tried with this, and then it just sort of like, it's just holding this line. Hold the line. You knew I was going to do that, right? If it holds the line and then gets me that, I would actually say if you took this trade, you're going to be happy that you stayed in and it's still viable, and it would open the door for a new trade. That's my thoughts. Everything's looking okay, you know. We're not telling you it's a 6 or 6.5 market. It's 4.75. Looks okay. It's tradable. CCJ iffy. Man, this Celsius Holdings just won't pull back. It's a runaway freight train. CLS setting up. Nice trend. A little acceleration on earnings. And possibly a pullback followed by a turn here. Nice little technical pattern developing here, maybe. Just like AXP. Broke this consolidation. Tried to break it here, and it fell right back down, obviously. Back into the consolidation. So if the same thing happens, all bets are off. But if this starts to stabilize like it seems to be, and then it turns, that's the next one. That's our next opportunity. Coinbase. Nothing there for me now. Cisco, no. Delta, overextended, but looks bullish on a pullback. DoorDash. Ooh, DoorDash. Well, now that smells interesting. Nice higher high on good earnings. Pulls back. Doesn't even get to the 50. This trend is holding. Stochastics looks like it's turning. Very interesting. What do you guys think? Any DoorDashers? You guys, I've seen a couple. My daughter has been working all summer as a CNA, and sometimes it's so busy she can't leave. And I'm like, okay, you can get DoorDash delivered. Why does the vol look so low? Volume or volatility? I think we had a spike over here. But overall, for me, I think the sellers dissipated, and now I'm ready for the buyers to come back. Sandy's like, let's do it. I didn't even know Sandy was here. She never even said good morning. But the fact that she's like bringing let's do it kind of trade energy, I'll forgive her that. Or maybe I didn't see it. I don't know. Could be me. It was her. Yes. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. All right. Let's keep going. But Dash is top of the list. Top out of the list. Diamonds. Dow looks a little overextended. Dollar Tree. Oh, Dollar Tree. Hello. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Not there yet. It's kind of still like poised. Still poised, but ready. EA on a pullback. Ooh. Was it that it's overblown, or does it pull back just to like here, hold and go again? We'll see. Estee Lauder never really materialized. Earnings are coming up. I guess I'll watch through. I mean, this is new. I'm not a huge fan. Had a good trend, so let's see what earnings does, I guess. Expedia, good earnings, blew up in a bit of a flag now. I'd be good all the way back to here. I'd consider trading if it breaks the flag. Put it on the list. Ford, no. Futu, boy, that trade worked out. Earnings coming up. Just going to watch and see that. GE, possibly. Or GE Vernova. They're both very similar in how they look and set up, but representatives from industrials, certainly some strong momentum. I think we don't even realize when you look back and you're like, this thing's doubled up. Gold, flat, Google. Anybody holding still? Let me know if you have a piece. I mean, it's up marginally, but you lost time, so you're probably at or maybe even a little below where you were Friday based on the time decay. Could be breaking even. You can just see it's just sort of we're almost at that point. It's not getting there. Okay. Did well. Did its job. Goldman. Interesting. There's strength there. I think I like Morgan Stanley better. Hasbro, overextended. Nothing for us yet. Hood. You could see that we were not convinced that was breaking the flag. I told you if someone drew their flag steeper, but I still kind of had mine drawn like this. Maybe it's more like, are we going to see a pullback? It's a strong stock, but it's trying to figure it out right now. Howmet, no. IBM, no. Intel, maybe on the pullback here that we're starting to see. IWM still looks okay in the small caps. Joby, oof, I'm glad we stuck away from that one. Also, today, especially if it comes with some volume, could be a shoulder, head, shoulder, flying cars are falling to earth. Love it. Yeah. Like, I'm curious what a $20 bear call spread might sell for, right? Where you're just like, let's sell high probability that as it breaks down, more aggressively, you could sell a 15 spread. I'm curious about this one. This is technical, but I feel like this thing maybe belongs. That's about a $4 to $5. I think it maybe belongs in this price range. You can kind of see this is right where it had that break. And it had this first explosive little piece right here. And it's like, maybe this is only a $10 to $12 stock. Let's keep an eye on this one today. How are we doing on time? We're doing good. KKR. All the way, but it's holding. This was a regional. We had a couple of good trades with this last year, if I remember correctly. Does that sound right? Does anyone remember trading KKR last year? I believe we did. Then we threw it off the list because we're very much a "what have you done for me lately" kind of crowd with our watch list. Been doing some research on TPO. Let me take a look. Lumentum. Ooh, Lumentum. Getting ready for some momentum. Yeah, I've used that joke already. It's not great, but I'm going to keep going with it. Rare Earth. We'll take a look. Meta. I like Meta on the pullback. I like Morgan on the pullback. We'll see if this is going to hold or if it's going to, we're not going to give it much time. But if it closes below the support level today, I'll probably just close it. If support holds, give it another day. Come home on, forgiven trader. Oh, love it. Micron looking pretty good. The problem is, as much as we adjust, like the taco, this is almost an inverse taco trade. So can we really rely on Trump putting tariffs, big tariffs on semiconductors? Can we really rely on that? Or is it like maybe, but then there's also like Nvidia's not afraid because they already were like, oh, we're going to invest $500 billion. So he loves them. So it's like carve outs or exceptions or whatever. I guess those would be exceptions. Carve outs are legislative. Okay. Let's keep going. Netflix. Nothing yet. Nvidia. Looks fine. Still looks bullish. Still looks like there could be a trade coming out of this. Would be soon. Would be this week, I would say. So let's keep an eye on that. PGY, Piggy, Pagaya Technologies. Pausing. PLTR. Come on down. Come on down. It's good to see you, PLTR. How you been? You're looking lovely. Perhaps we should go for coffee. Yeah. Okay. QQQ looks bullish. Looks like it's setting up for a new bullish bounce. Roblox trying to hold the 50. Love it, Sandy. Oh, goodness gracious. So funny. Roblox touching the 50. Reddit. Freight train won't slow down and let anybody on. So rude. Rocket Lab. Ooh. Stephen D, I think, still has a little bit of this. Maybe it wants to go. Come on, Rocket Lab. RTX possibly setting up. It's a slow burner, but it can move. I'm telling you, that last one I got on this was great. Worked out great. SLV. Kind of flat, kind of consolidating. SoFi overextended, it seems. SPY today just in equilibrium this morning. 10-cent music, TME. Looking to see if that's going to pull back a little bit for a new entry. Tesla setting up if you're willing to trade Tesla. TSM. Maybe Taiwan. Was it Nvidia? I think maybe both Nvidia and Taiwan are like positioned for exclusions or exceptions or pardons, tariff pardons. I like the others better though. Uber just kind of holding sideways. Is Melody here? No. Covered call works well. Doing well, I would imagine. Just kind of doing its job. UUP. The dollar's sort of stabilized a little bit. Visa. So I'm going to say American Express and Capital One look better than Visa if you're thinking about it. Here's the VIX. What's our thought on the VIX? Well, we scored the VIX higher. This is where the 1/4 point came from, was this lower low. And we said if this thing pops up into this area and rolls over, that's a lower high. I would raise my score again. Yeah. I would raise my score again to a 1.5. And that would be great. That would be very helpful for me. I'd be like, hey, whatever else is going on, if we see the institutions more committed to, if we see the institutions more committed, we should be too. We should be willing to as well. That's my thought. Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. Looking at something. VRT, possibly a setup. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. I missed it alphabetically. TPO. I was looking for it, and then all of a sudden I got distracted. TPO. I was close. I was very close. Right after TME. Texas Pacific Land. Well, for me, it's in a consolidation still. You can see this one's just kind of pervasive. Draw that line. If it ever does a sneaky reversal where it just like comes down and doesn't make a lower low, because you can see how much it's been making lower lows, or if it's able to get through this thing, come back down, this is a maybe. This is stronger. That's just me from a technical standpoint. Technical only. How'd the earnings do? $9.30 on the 7th. 5.05. Actual. Oh, I don't know what they were. Okay. Anyways. And last but not least, Walmart looks great. Unfortunately, earnings are coming up. So if you're willing to hold earnings, or try to capitalize, there's not much vol there, but okay. Well, that's it. That's the morning. How are we feeling about it? I read that the White House launched a scorecard rating for 500 plus companies on Trump loyalty. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. The times. It's good to see everybody. We are 150-year-old company. That's great. I mean, I think if the financials are good, then it's just waiting for the technicals to invite you in, right? That's my thought. It's good to see you guys. I would say that there's a possibility we have an alert that comes out today based on what I've seen today. Be aware. Look for that later in the afternoon. I will be on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Of course, my pleasure. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah. Everybody have a great day. See you soon. As always, happy trading.